Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, it is. Well, howdy. Okay. Who are all these people in here this morning? I see a couple of familiar faces. The others, if I know y'all, you're going to have to remind me how I know you. At least you look friendly. I don't see pitchforks or anything like that.
Back.
But what are they doing in here this morning? Okay, it must be something in the air, or it could be the meds I'm taking because my jaw is hurting, along with my elbow, my knee, my leg, and my back. It was a long weekend. The good thing is that the new week yesterday started with some rain. Finally, around here, we got some rain. A little sound and light show came with it, but that's okay. A good Monday morning to you. Our studio guests in here, all of y'all. And why aren't they moving? They're just standing there.
Are you okay this morning?
And all you folks at home, what?
How much juice have you had this morning?
Well, just some of my. I think that's Pepsi Cola this morning. But anyway, all y'all at home, on the road, or at work, I'm Rayford Brown.
Well, good morning.
And this is live and local real talk. Did I get that right?
This has been an unusual morning. Yeah, good morning. I'm Lee Darrells.
Were we in the same class at Jacksonville High, you and me?
No, we were not.
Okay.
I was late.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was very good. It was hot. Saturday morning, I decided to clean up the yard, get ahead of the rain, and let me tell you what. No, it was Friday when I left here.
Yeah,
and I did all that.
Confused still.
See, this has been a crazy. And then Saturday I did more yard work and trying to beat the heat, and it was refreshing to have that rain. It rained hard at my house yesterday. There was a couple cracks of lightning. I didn't know if a tree had cracked and fallen in my yard. That's one thing I did not need again.
No. And anyway, I'm just tired of the weekend. I'm glad it's gone.
You were busy too. It was a good weekend though, between the Big Rock and the Carolina hurricanes.
Hurricanes, yep.
What a weekend.
Yeah, and got a little challenging weather in Onslow yesterday. A cluster of thunderstorms seemed to come together as they made their way northward. Parts of the county had some strong winds and heavy rain. A dock and a boathouse there on the New River in Jacksonville was torn down. Several there were small helicopters at the New River Air Station flipped over. Those choppers were not U.S. choppers. That were not our military. They were here visiting, and I was told they're Spanish in origin. I don't know exactly where they came from, but they're here, and they're small helicopters.
Can you imagine what they're thinking?
Yes, some sort of what some describe as straight line winds made its way across a section of the county. Up in Beaufort County, heavy winds ripped at least one roof from a house, and roofs from a number of other homes were damaged when the storm made its way northward. Trees and power lines were down. A number of trees were reported uprooted. No doubt more reports will be coming in throughout the day today. In the meantime, how about the Canes? The Carolina Hurricanes took the whole kit and caboodle way out yonder in Las Vegas. We came to town and showed you something, didn't we, boys?
Yeah, and guess what?
What's that?
Got through the evening without any rioting anywhere.
So far,
School
so
buses
good.
burning.
Yeah. When the game ended, it was a 3-zip score, and that means the Canes are now the Stanley Cup champions.
Yes.
First time in 20 years. A hurricane to be reckoned with.
I've got to get a hurricane shirt now. Like I told you, I never got into ice hockey until all this started, and then because everybody was talking about the
I'm
games.
going to follow our North Carolina teams, whoever they are.
Yes, well, I jumped in
wherever
there,
they go.
and I've learned a lot, and I've had good friends that if I had a question, they could answer for me. But wow, that was such a, I really expected it to go back and forth last night. Score. But man,
They
Carolina,
were on their game last night.
they scraped the ice with them, didn't they?
They came to make icicles.
Oh, it was a good game. Good. And of course, Saturday.
The fish that made a very nice man a millionaire was the news from the minute she
Yes.
was hoisted onto the scales, weighing in at 919.9 pounds, a tournament record for the Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament. Not the only big fish brought in either. This was a good year. Some very respectable
Right.
big blues. The Marlin
Very.
gods were smiling. Not always the case for these tournaments. You know something about those folks aboard the Marlin Fever, right?
Yes, I can tell you right here. It's a renowned.
Renowned.
Let me start all over again. Marlin Fever is a 63-foot custom sports fishing vessel built by Jarrett Bay Works
They do
out of Eastern North
they do some
Carolina.
good boats, absolutely.
Yes, the captain is Captain Cameron Guthrie, and they secured their first place in sports fishing history by winning the 68th annual Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament with a record-shattering catch that paid out an estimated, are you
There we
ready?
go.
$6.5 million. Yes, and that was on the second day, and that it just broke all Big Rock records.
Nice.
Yep, and because the marlin was the first marlin caught for this
That weighed over
tournament,
500 pounds. Yep.
that weighed over 500 pounds, and it remained the largest fish on the board for the rest of the tournament. Yeah. Now let me tell you
But the
what.
second place went back and forth, and third
Yes, it
place
did.
and fourth
Yes,
place.
it
And they
did.
all pay out money up to fourth place,
Oh,
right?
yes, they do.
So-
Yes. I had that up here, but let me see. I do want to say, though, excitement Saturday, though, the haphazard. It's a 60-foot Spencer.
Mhm.
It was out there, and it had hooked up one. They fought it for 6.5
Oh, my.
hours.
They must have thought it was a biggie.
Before, well, the captain now, this caused a lot of controversy Saturday. And even when I posted about the Marlin Fever winning the first place, had some rude comments on there about us being fake news because the haphazard was still out. I was like, okay, number one, the haphazard and the captain there and Big Rock headquarters had been in contact the whole time.
Mhm.
And the captain of the haphazard said, we have a big one. It looks like maybe second or third place, but it will definitely not. It's not big enough to beat the first place.
Okay.
So they went ahead, and when the scales, technically when everybody was done, except for haphazard, they said that they went ahead and awarded Marlin Fever the big check
Okay. Based upon what the captain said.
based upon all the information they had.
A little dangerous, but
Well, I trust that Big Rock headquarters and the captain of the haphazard had,
he's probably a very experienced guy.
yes, very much so. So anyway, Mr. Whoever you were, I'm sorry, but that was just awarding them for first place. They did not give out any other awards, anything. Well, haphazard didn't come in until about 20 minutes to 10 Saturday night.
Oh, my. Did
Yes.
they have a fish on board?
They had a fish. They had a big
How
marlin.
much did they weigh?
It was, oh gosh, let me see if I can find this right here. It was,
Did they bump some other people
they
down?
bumped the Fender Bender, who was in third place. And you remember
okay.
Fender Bender had brought in 2 marlins this
Uh-huh.
past
They
week.
can't add them together, though.
No,
It doesn't work
wouldn't
that
that be
way.
lovely? But it knocked Fender Bender out of third place, and haphazard brought in a beautiful marlin
Mhm.
for third place.
Well, good. They got into the money then.
it was
worth-
600
worth the wait.
The haphazard 635.6 pound.
Ooh.
And see, Free Ranger was currently third with a 597.4.
Twice. So who was in second? I forgot. It was 600
Fender
and
Bender?
something.
644.1.
Yeah, okay.
But see, and Free Ranger, did I say Bender? Free Ranger had the third place Marlin at 597. When Haphazard came in,
Yeah.
they knocked the Free Ranger out of third place and
Put everybody
Haphazard
else
took
down,
third.
yeah.
Yes. But it was Marlin
But
Fever.
Second place stayed the same at 640 something.
Yeah, 644 Fender Bender. And then Haphazard at 635.6.
Cool.
It was a
Congratulations,
beautiful
guys.
fish.
Nice
Beautiful.
tournament. Nice tournament, y'all.
Well, let me tell you.
I'm going to make a prediction here, you know.
Right.
This is going to make next year. There's going to be a lot of
challenge.
people watching this from. There are a lot of people watching this from around the world, and Marlin guys who
Right.
go down to Costa Rica and all of them there are places,
Right.
so they can land the big ones there. We got them right here.
Yes.
We got some big fish right here in North Carolina, as evidenced by this tournament.
Well, I told
And
you.
the big one is still out there.
Hey, good Lord, what a monster.
Yeah.
I would think it was a whale. No, don't hook that one. I told you, people from all over the world were watching the live
Sure.
feeds. They were from all over the world. Nice compliments. And I'll tell you what, I think the Big Rock Tournament did a great job this
I
year.
bet you Jordan is
A lot of
not
excitement.
happy right now. But I bet you Michael Jordan wishes he had been in
I
this
bet he
tournament.
wishes.
Because he could have stood a better chance than he's had in the past, because there were a lot of Marlin here.
There were. I was texting a friend, a gentleman that was on the Costa Rican Saturday morning
Mhm.
because they were hooked up. And I was like, go, go, go. And he said, no, it was a selfish. We just released it. I said, well, keep going, keep going, keep going. So I was kind of, but right now as it stands, of course, this is what Big Rock has on their website. So if anything changes, don't yell at me. Marlin Fever took home $6,513,187.50.
Amazing.
Oh,
And look at
Dog fees.
imagine all the money that goes to the people, to the just the residuals, not all of the
Makes me
prize money, but other monies that go out to all the charities,
I think
the
it was
hospital,
Friday.
the Marlins Park.
They gave 3 different school teachers $10,000 apiece. The Fender Bender came in with $467,962.50. And look at this, dock fees. Now dock fees won $584,500 because not only do you get money for Blue Marlin, is it
This
if it ranks,
other points you
but
get.
you get other points for catch and release, for other game fish like
yep.
dolphin and wahoo.
Sailfish,
So-
anything that you can cut loose too.
You can make a lot of money just on
If I could go out there and catch the biggest dolphin and just sit out there and,
Right.
not waste a lot of gas, but sit out there 20, 30, 40 miles offshore and just catch the biggest dolphin, I'd be a happy camper.
Here is the Astro Coast. It's a 92-foot Viking.
Ooh.
The Lucy Bree, the Secaton, the Wall Hanger, they all won over $56,000.
That's not, I mean,
No.
that'll pay for, the basic fee starts at $5,000, but by the time you add on, you can end up with about $28,000 in entry fee.
That's
Okay,
right.
if you enter all the categories and the tournament within the tournaments and all that sort of good stuff, the entry fees, it adds up. But if you win, all of that pays off. If you don't win, it's
Right.
it pays off for other people. So
Well, here's
That's the way it
some the
goes.
redemption. The Savannah Lee, remember Savannah Lee came in, I think it was the very first day, catching more high yield, iron leader, gamekeeper. They all won like $5,000 a piece, and that was for catching the first blue marlin of the day. Didn't matter whether or not you brought it in, but your first catch of the day.
Good
First
job.
one who catches the blue marlin. So, I was thinking last night, I said,
well,
doggone it.
that just pays for the entry fee, the basic entry fee, $5,000.
I'll
But I
tell you
mean, it's
what.
$5,000 that you didn't throw away.
That's right. Well, you think, I wonder how much the entry fee is for winner takes all. I mean, if you buy into the winner takes all.
If you buy into everything, it's
Yes.
about $27,000.
Golly. Good Lord have mercy.
It's not a poor man's
Phew.
sport. Okay.
Yeah. But at least a lot of these, they got their gas paid for.
Yeah, some of those who won some money did.
And I would have just slept right on the boat.
You'd have been on the bow just soaking up the sun, wouldn't you?
Right.
Mhm.
But look, I posted on our Facebook the video from the Marlin Fever, them bringing that thing up on the boat. Oh, what a great video. Y'all have to watch it. Go to our Facebook page and watch it. It's so good.
Got to plug the upcoming Carteret Community College mackerel tournament. It's coming up next month, right after the 4th of July. I don't know the exact date. I forgot it. I do know, but I forgot it. That's me. Go out to their website for all the information. Basically, it's a week-long event. It's not one day. It's like the Marlin tournament. It goes from Saturday to Saturday. You can fish as many or as few of the days as you want. Prizes are awarded throughout the tournament for the biggest fish caught. The species, Spanish mackerel, the star attraction, along with its big cousin, the mighty king mackerel. And I don't know whether bluefish is included this year or not, but they are not including dolphin or wahoo. They're not in the running anymore. So they're going back to the basics, the mackerels.
I have it right here. July 18th through the 25th.
Yep. Okay. You can sign up online, or you can wait until the last minute on the Friday evening before the first day of fishing to do it in person at the captain's party if you want. It's a fun event, family oriented, and you can keep whatever fish you entered after the official measurements are taken. And then you can take them home, fry them up, fried fish on the menu every night. You can't beat it. The folks that benefit are those who count on the Carteret Community College Foundation. This is a great chance to help students who need a little extra help getting through college programs with some finances. That's where this stuff goes. The College Foundation is a great organization there at Carteret. They have helped so many people, moms with little babies and moms with whatevers and trying to get through to they work a second job or they're working a job. They want a better career, so they're going to improve themselves and move on up in the world. So there's a lot of help that the foundation does, and so it's a great tournament and it's a fun tournament.
I'm going to go back, real quick to the Marlin Fever. The angler that caught that marlin, Connor Daniels, he wasn't even of age yet that he could drink legally, and a lot of champagne going around on that boat, but Connor couldn't partake. But young man,
if he's out of the U.S. territorial
we're
waters.
talking about at dock, the party at dock.
The dock, at the offshore, out of the territorial waters of the United States, but the drinking age is a lot lower.
Well,
that's how the cruise ships get away with it.
Yeah, they do a lot of things on cruise ships. A lot of things.
I'm talking about legally.
Yeah. But I think he was just 19 years of age. Fought it for a little over 2 hours, but and then you have haphazard at 6.5 hours.
They were being very careful trying to get into the money. I don't blame them. I wouldn't blame them a bit. And of course, that big old baby, she could have been just wallowing and coming on into the boat. Could have been making way and could have been coming to the boat on her by her own self.
I'm going to go ahead and start working on getting in on a crew for next year. Okay, I'll be the boat cleaner or whatever.
No, you better watch that part.
It's not a problem. I'll feed the crew, whatever it takes.
That'll do it. Keep them fed. They'll be happy.
How exciting.
Chicken legs, chicken wings.
But now that that's over and the Hurricanes, the Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup, what's next? Well, I feel let down.
Well, no, the college tournament's great. It's a great little tournament. I like it.
Okay, you cheer that one on.
No, I'm
I'm
gonna be
sure.
out there a few days of that one.
Okay, well, I'm sure that things will be exciting with the mackerel tournament.
They are. They're exciting.
Not like
if you're in
Big Rock.
All right, looking at the marine forecast, shower and thunderstorms are still a possibility. It's kind of on the cloudy side out there. This is a cold front. It's going to be moving in towards the end of the week, too. Cold front down to 80. Today, out to 60 nautical miles, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, gusts up to 30.
30.
It's not a good day on the water. Seas
Oof.
4 to 6 feet, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15, seas 4 to 5. Showers likely, a chance of thunderstorms too, mainly in the morning. Wednesday, southwesterly winds 15 to 20. It's not a pretty week to go, okay? With gusts up to 25, seas 4 to 5 feet, showers likely in the morning, but a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon.
Today, mostly sunny with a high near 92. Southwest wind around 7 miles per hour, becoming northwest in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 16 miles per hour. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 68. Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a high near 87. And Wednesday, a chance of showers in the morning. Partly sunny with a high near 89. I'll take 89.
Yeah, checking around the area, our friends, the ham radio people out there, the area has expanded. Lee and the Woodlands, 74 degrees this morning, 88 degrees, 29.76 inches of mercury and falling. No wind at the time. 1.41 inches of rain for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday and overnight last night. 1.41 inches. That's a lot of water. Joe, our friend from the borough, he's not in the borough. He's in Keokuk Park, whatever, New York.
Yeah.
53 degrees this morning, partly cloudy. He had 1.25 inches of rain yesterday. Carol called in from the River Bend this morning, 74 degrees, 93% humidity, 29.64 inches of mercury. Northeasterly wind at almost nothing, 1 mile per hour, and she had 0.88 inches of rain. Brian, who is in the borough, 75 degrees, 85% humidity, 29.43 inches of mercury, calm. And the borough had no rain. It was funny that the further towards the ocean you got, it didn't happen. This was an inland type of storm, slightly inland and moving north yesterday. Randy in southwest, 74 degrees this morning, 94% humidity, 29.75 inches of mercury, southwesterly wind at 40.42 inches of rain, just a little under a half inch. Ward in Cedar Point, 77 degrees, 87% humidity, 29.82 inches of mercury, and it's rising there. West-southwesterly winds at 4 to 8 miles per hour. He had a trace of rain, not much. In Jones County, Richard reported 74 degrees, 97% humidity, 29.176 inches of mercury. He got real specific. Southwesterly wind of 4.29 inches of rain. And the visibility there was 10 miles this morning, thanks to all of the amateur radio folks who are gearing up. In about a little less than 2 weeks, we're going to be out there in the bushes, out there in the field, and doing something called Field Day for operating for 24 hours to make as many contacts. That means conversations with people all over the world.
Right.
And just to show that we can do it, that we can go out on location, take our antennas, take our radio, set up and do things and talk to people.
Do it.
That's what the whole idea is all about.
Yes.
So if you get a chance and you want to just stop by on Saturday, whatever that date is, 27th.
27th, right.
In the morning, we'll start setting up about 10 o'clock and throwing some antennas up in the air. And we got a cannon we're going to use to shoot some up in the air. So it's interesting.
But wait. I didn't agree to cannons. I did not agree to cannons.
Well, I'm sorry, but you're the person that volunteered, so you're going to be down in the cannon barrel like they used to have at the circuses.
I don't think so.
And when you get up and you're carrying the antenna with you, so when you cross over that limb, grab it and tie it off, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it'll be. Anyway, we got a cannon to shoot the antennas up with and into the trees, some of them. It's an interesting device. I looked at it and I figured out I'm going to build me one for next year.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to build a super duper one there. I will be able to shoot
Pumpkin Center is going to be very busy.
Yeah. It's relatively quiet, but it's okay. It'll be fine. And so it's going to be on the 27th, 28th. So come on out, and then you hang around. You can take a look at us when we start operating at 2:00 in the afternoon. And
Who got the most rain?
You did.
Yes.
Here in the studio, I forgot to tell you about that. It's currently 75 degrees, 95% humidity. We had 0.74 inches of rain, and it's 29.67 inches of mercury.
I was so disappointed Saturday when it started to rain. It was just in and out, just very light. But yesterday afternoon, the skies let loose. And you talk about lightning. Wow, just this past week, within a 25-mile area, we've had 498 lightning strikes.
Wow.
Yeah, my system does that too. And
Yep.
I was like, that's a lot of lightning.
I went to my high school class reunion. A bunch of Cardinals were there. Not as many as there have been in the past reunions. Last one was 10 years ago, and a whole lot of people have, unfortunately, no longer with us from my class. We're all getting old. And the funny thing was, I walked in there and didn't know I was in the right place. I finally saw one guy that I knew, and then I saw another one. I said, okay, there's two. And then some other people looking at name tags and, oh yeah, remember me? Yeah. I do.
Oh yeah.
Some of them we talked, and one guy that he's in the electronics business. Another one was, and so they were doing. We all had a lot in common way back then.
Right.
So we all kind of stayed in the same
You
industry.
ever notice going to a class reunion, you see people that were,
old.
the popular kids, that, were going to college and daddies owned car lots or was somebody big in the community, and they come in and you're expecting to see them look like a CEO or whatever, and it's completely different.
Yeah.
And then you have people that look twice the age. And then you have people that have fared well and still kind of hip with the times. Class reunions are so much fun. They are. The only thing is, you see people getting older, and then you realize, well, that means I'm older too.
Yeah, well,
It's hard.
I didn't recognize them, and I thought I was in the wrong place because I didn't think I was that old.
That's why we have name. Fill out your name tag, please. Oh, hey.
Well, I had mine in advance, and
Yes.
the thing is, they had a picture of me back from the high school
Oh, I
class.
want to see it. Did you save it?
I threw it in
Great.
Robbie's purse.
Oh, well, good. I want to see that.
Yeah, There's a security problem with the Onslow County School System's computer network. Seems
God
that the
bless
technology security of the system was compromised.
Mhm.
That's what they call being hacked, I think. A member of the
Yes.
system's IT department detected the breach. In short order, the whole system was secured. Local law enforcement was notified, which then triggered alerts to the North Carolina Joint Cybersecurity Task Force, the FBI, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and the U.S. Secret Service. All of these folks are involved.
Secret Service?
Uh-huh.
Why does Secret Service?
I don't know. I don't want to know. They investigate cybersecurity too. The investigation is ongoing, and investigators are working to determine whether any personal data of students or staff was accessed or taken. County school officials will contact any people whose personal information was affected as needed.
Wow, yeah. I remember we said last week that their phone system was down there. It was down, completely down. And but I will tell you that Dr. Barnes tried calling me twice Friday, and I'm sure it was about the flag thing. But yes, he did return calls. But we kept missing each other. I was not available for his phone call at the
I
time.
like it when people miss me. I just don't like to hear that thing go bzzz by my head. But I'm glad I can hear it, and I didn't need to make contact.
Oh, no. You know what, Rayford?
Well,
Last week we got talking about skydiving.
I know. A plane with 11 skydivers on board
So sad.
crashed in Missouri yesterday, killing all 11 and the pilot of the plane. It happened. And these skydiving plane mishaps happen quite often at or because you wonder why they don't jump out.
They weren't high enough to jump out.
They were. It just took. The plane took off, and then it did a bank, turned around, and started coming back to the airport. It's a small airport.
Right.
Happened. The airport was about 76 miles from Kansas City. The plane burst into flames when it hit the ground. According to witnesses, the plane turned around shortly after taking off, then crashed before it could reach the airport. Those at the airport theorized the plane lost power. Well, no kidding, Dick Tracy, causing it to turn and head back to the airport. The FAA and the NTSB, of course, are investigating. That is
so sad.
There have been so many crashes like this. I don't know whether there's 11 skydivers on board. You got to have a good plane to do that. It's not a little two-seater, of course.
Right. That was just
a tragic day. Tragic.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Greg Biffle crash. I mean, they go up and they lost visual, whatever, and turned sharply and just came down. But like you said, we'll wait and see what the NTSB has to say about it, which could take up to 2 years. It does take time.
Well, they got to put that thing back together.
Yes, they do.
Unless they got some.
From what I saw, there was a lot.
When it hit the ground, it caught fire.
Yes.
So, anyway, 910-333-0139. Any of my classmates out there this morning? A lot. It was interesting that a lot of the folks came over to talk to me, and from far and wide, they listen to us in the mornings. If they don't hear us because of the time difference, like California, you got to be like Charlie, get up early in the morning to have a chat with us if you're in California. But they do listen, and they look at the Facebook. They don't click on anything because we would see them if they did, right. But they are just looking.
Charlie said, "I just heard my name."
Hey, Charlie, how you doing, Charlie?
A lot of it's like I tell a lot of people. Right now, it'll show that there's 4 people actually clicked on and watching. But if I go into the back office and go into all the different analytics, it shows a lot more. Yep. So you can't always trust that.
Well, it's certain people are not going to show up. Period. Yeah. Ever. That's just the way they've got their settings set on their computers. They're not recognized. There's a way to do that.
There's been times where I've gone into my Facebook and come across a video. If your volume is turned on, you can actually watch that video and listen to it without clicking on it.
Yep.
If you don't click on it, it doesn't register you. But if you just come up to it and you listen from your main feed, you can watch the whole video.
If you've got autoplay, it does that.
Yeah, they just don't have. You just don't get credit for a viewer watching. Yeah. But Facebook is changing. Every time I turn around, they're changing something, trying to set it up in the morning. I have it automatic, but this morning.
And yes, for those who are asking, we are going to be talking about the little thing with Iran here shortly. So
that whole thing,
hang in there, and we'll talk. But we'd like for you to talk too. What are your opinions of the new truce deal? That supposedly, we'll see. We'll talk about it. Stooping to a new level of low, though, 2 preteen siblings in Boston trying to make a buck last week, selling lemonade at their lemonade stand. They were held up.
What?
They were robbed.
What?
One was 11, one was 12. The girl was 11, the boy was 12. 3 teens. One of the robbers, a 14-year-old boy. He was arrested quickly. The other is still at large. One of the thieves was armed with a gun, according to police reports. So police have charged the one they have in custody with 2 counts of armed robbery and 2 counts of unlawful possession of a gun. Bleeding Hearts will make sure he spends maybe 24 hours in a holding cell, is given a lecture on how bad guns are, and find out why he thought he needed the money from the kids operating the lemonade stand so they can help him. That's my nickel.
Yeah, he'll get a sentence of probation, and nobody will pay any attention to him
Yeah.
after that until he does something else. What happened, kids?
Human remains discovered in a remote section of a Washington State National Park more than 2 decades ago. They found them 2 decades ago, have finally been identified. Their remains found in Olympic National Park belong to Joseph Louis Serraro Jr. of Hawaii. He's a native whose family last had contact with him in 1998.
You woke Charlie up.
And we'll get back to the story in just a minute or two. Charlie, you're awake. Welcome aboard.
Hey, did you guys watch any of the MMA fights at the White House last night?
No, I was busy watching the Carolina Hurricanes.
White House grounds or something, right?
Right.
It was, you know who Joe Rogan is, right?
Yes.
So Joe Rogan, you know, sometimes he's conservative, sometimes he's liberal. He basically said, in the history of the sport, there will never be anything like this ever again. The dominance. It actually was. I watched it. I found a free website. It was spectacular, and this is what I loved about it, because the Democrats, the liberals, would have loved if it would have rained heavily that night. They would have loved if cockroaches and bees and bugs would have been all over the place. It truly was, and this is from Joe Rogan. He says there will never be another event like this ever in the history of fighting. He talked about, it really was remarkable. You see these great warriors going against one another. And, you know, the Americans, you know, kind of, well, they did. They came out on top of everything. But, you know, when you hear all these other people watching it saying, in the history of MMA fighting, this will never happen again. And it's funny because Trump pulled this off. It was beautiful. The weather was perfect. The ceremony was perfect. The songs were perfect. The military was perfect. The fighting was extremely intense, really intense. I'm talking brutal. But, you know, Americans kind of came out on top. And Joe Rogan, you know, sometimes he goes against Mr. Trump, President Trump, and he said, we'll never see anything like this ever again in the history of our life. It was really amazing to watch.
So what did Trump have to do with it that made it so good?
Well, he put it together. I mean, think about when Biden was president. Remember when he had a LGTBA, which I think is fine. Remember how, you know, they were taken up and they were showing their breasts? Trump put together this octagon. And I think there were 4,000 people at the White House, and there were 80,000 people a few blocks away watching on the Megatron. It was a spectacular event. Everything went across perfectly. The fireworks, the flyovers, but the intense fighting between these warriors. And I'm telling you, these are intense. One guy who was undefeated got brutally beaten, and so they had to call the fight in like the third round. But I think he could have probably gone to a fourth round. It was really just a beautiful display of, you know, men who are warriors. And the United States of America, Trump's 80th birthday, celebrating the 205th, I guess, anniversary. It's really, really good. You guys, it's really spectacular. Go to YouTube and just watch the recap.
I'm trying to think how in 2 years I want to celebrate my 80th birthday. I think I'm going to go have some shrimp and corn on the cob like I had last night. I don't think I'm going to throw it.
Sounds so good.
It was good too. I had zucchini from the garden and cucumbers from the garden.
Did you have squash?
No, I had zucchini.
No, oh, okay. Well, I cut them both up. But
Well,
did you have any sausage with it?
No,
you know?
I had shrimp.
Like a seafood boil?
Just had shrimp.
Oh, man.
So it was
I want a
good.
seafood boil.
So anyway, that's how I'll celebrate. I'm not, I can't imagine throwing a big party for MMA and watch all the blood and the guts and the brutality that occurs with that. You know, I'm a passive individual.
It was pretty intense. Like this one guy that was like, I guess he's never lost a fight. I think it was from Spain. And he was fighting against a guy whose mother was Hispanic, his father was German. And I'm like watching both of them. Like when the white guy was winning, like USA, but I like the Spanish guy. But you know, but the guy got beat so bad. When you see his face, he's never been beaten that bad. At one point, it was really funny because they went after one. I think it was after the third round was over. The referee said, "Can your fighter come out?" And the doctor on the team said, "No, because the guy, he couldn't see, but he couldn't see out of his right eye. He couldn't see.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, no. But then guess what happened?
He came out anyway.
He came back, yeah. One of the other teammates said the doctor's wrong. Let's let him fight. The guy couldn't see. His right eye was literally almost falling out. And it made me think, okay, so a doctor said, listen, this is a human being. I went to school for 12 years as a medical expert. I'm calling the fight. But another guy said, no, let him fight. He's like, okay, let's let him fight. It was a disaster.
No,
you got to watch this.
They should have, in situations like that, they should have somebody to make the call, because they know if something really bad goes down and, the guy loses his vision completely or he dies,
No, I agree. When you see the guy's face, but then I'm thinking, this guy was so strong. He took a brutal beating, but he was still strong. He's like, a part of me said, let him fight. A part of me thought maybe he could actually come back and beat this guy, because his face was just so defeated.
Coming back from behind only happens in that entertainment thing called wrestling.
Yeah, but watch this guy. I think this guy could have come back. He was so just beaten beyond belief, but he still had strength. And I don't know. But I just thought it was funny when the doctor said, no mas, no mas, no mas. But then his brother's like, let him play. He's like, okay. It was a great fight. Anyway, all right. So have a good show.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie.
Oh my! I'm not one of those MMA guys that it's a lot of brutality involved, and
that is one thing absolutely that I will tell you right now. I can't get into to watch people actually beat each other. I can't do it.
Yeah, boxing is short of that, but
right.
they will call it in a hurry, and they don't get in there, just keep punching and punching and punching and punching until somebody's down and gone.
Right.
So they'll punch until the guy falls down, but and they got rules.
Right.
When the other guy's incapacitated or is not doing well, even standing on his feet, referee will stop it.
Yeah, there's just that right now. I can't say 100%. I don't watch or wouldn't watch it. And boxing, like I watched, what's her name?
What's her name?
Yeah, what's her name? The women.
I
Ronda Rousey.
I haven't watched.
I watched that last with her because I like Ronda Rousey. But
I'm just trying to understand why women.
Here we go, ladies. Hold on.
I think men think that women should be better protected than to get out there and get brutalized. I think most men feel that way.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yes.
We prefer to protect our women.
Right.
Okay. Women, I'm not being sexist here. Women tend to be more vain about their looks than men are about theirs. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would agree.
I mean, you take care, you put stuff on, you comb your hair,
Sometimes, yes.
Whatever. What do we do? Well, men do. We jump in the shower, comb our hair, and be gone.
Right.
Sometimes we shave if we have something very formal. But
true.
That's all we got to do. Whap, whap, gone, out the door.
Right.
Do we have to dry our hair? No, we don't have to blow dry our hair. We don't have to wait for it to dry. We're gone. It'll dry on the way if it's wet.
True.
So it's,
True. Can't argue
but
with
I just
that.
can't, I don't, I would not enjoy watching women punching each other's lights out.
Well, how about if they were mud wrestling, Rayford?
That's a fake thing. I'm inadvertently entered I didn't enter, but
all right, Chris, this is your cue.
I went into one of those events in Nolens.
Nolens, yes.
On just off of Bourbon Street, they had mud wrestling, and I said, I was young and stupid, and I said, well, I wonder what that is all about. I went in there. It's about women getting naked in the mud. Sooner or later, they got naked.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
That's just the way it was. So, okay. So I watched and then left left the rest of them to continue wrestling. There was no wrestling involved in it. So,
Sounds like fun though.
oh, fun to watch
Yeah.
women get naked in the mud.
No, to mud wrestle.
You just want to get out there and get naked in the mud.
No, I've never seen them naked. I've seen them wearing bathing suits or
Well,
whatever.
they start out that way. It doesn't last long.
I don't know. I've never watched women mud wrestle.
Oh, okay, so all right.
It's never really interested me.
Okay, back to Olympic National Park.
Yes.
They found these remains in a remote section of this Washington State National Park back in about 2000, I think it was. Anyway, we'll get to that. 2 decades ago, and they finally identified him as this guy Joseph Louis Serrero Jr. He was from Hawaii. He was a native from Hawaii. His family last had contact with him in 1998. Last time they heard from him was 1998. The investigation began in July of 2000 when a researcher discovered skeletal remains inside a sleeping bag in a tent in a drainage area, a river drainage area of Olympic National Park. Could have been there since 1998, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Investigators also recovered several personal belongings from the campsite. Binoculars, a backpack, a shoulder bag, a folding saw, a blanket, and winter clothing.
A folding saw?
One of those little
Yeah.
saws you carried to cut wood and stuff like that, firewood.
Okay.
They came to dead ends. They couldn't get anywhere. The investigators tried recently again with advanced DNA techniques. DNA is constantly evolving,
Yes, it is.
and they have in the files. They have the DNA information
Right.
from the remains at that time. So they kept them. Thank goodness. The results linked the remains to the man's relatives in Hawaii. So they reached out. These folks said they had not had any contact with him since 1998. Family members said that though Serrero was from Hawaii, he had been living in Washington State for an unknown period of time. They didn't report on how long it was. Apparently, he was working there. I guess nobody had filed a missing persons report or whatever. I don't know what kind of job he had. They didn't say that in the story. So this is weird. You can just
Yes, it is.
disappear, go up and die on a camping trip. Strange cases like this make you think whether anyone would care enough to even look for you if you just didn't stay in contact with your family or friends. Suppose you just kind of are estranged, as they say. You're on your own, living on your own. You want to go camping. You do, and you die in your sleeping bag.
Why do you want to go by yourself?
Well, there are people like that. There are loners.
You get up there and you're on a ledge sleeping, have a nightmare and fall off the ledge.
You don't sleep on ledges. I hope.
I would. I can sleep anywhere.
But anyway, just think about it, and you're there.
Well, yeah, I
And
agree with
it's-
you.
It's 2 years later they find you, but they don't know who you are. There's no identification on the body. That was strange. They had a ledger. They had some information there, but apparently no name to go with it.
Well, maybe that person was killed by someone else and his identification stolen.
They have not determined or had
You know?
not released any information about the cause of death.
Right.
Because if he'd been dead for 2 years up there in the hills in a sleeping bag, who knows?
In a sleeping bag.
So
Can you imagine a zip in that bag and a skeleton in there?
Assuming that he died in his sleep.
It could be. I'm sure. Probably. But there's, like you said, there are people like that who just like to go off and be by themselves and live in the woods and
Well,
be one
not
with
that he was
nature.
living, he just was there camping. How did he get there? Was there a car nearby? I mean, it makes you want to think about how
Right.
did he get there? He didn't walk from
Somebody drop
30
them
miles
off.
away. So I'm assuming there's a whole lot more to this story that we don't know about. And I would have assumed that the police back in 2000 would have pulled all the records of any cars that were impounded if they
Right.
found a guy up in the state park like that. because he had to get there somehow.
Exactly. Well, I don't know, but the police got a tip Friday on Nancy Guthrie of where her remains may be buried.
Yeah.
And it was right along the Arizona-Mexico border. And a group of people went out there and looked in the area that allegedly the tipster said she was buried in a shallow grave. And they didn't find anything.
Yeah.
But so that was big news on that case this past weekend. But,
That was going to be a strange one. Amelia Earhart, here we come.
Yeah, I do believe that she's no longer with us.
Yeah.
And I do believe that her body was disposed somewhere, maybe buried, yes, probably, and that she may never be found. But the anonymous tip said she was buried in a group of unmarked graves.
Oh, boy.
Now, how do you go out there and search and say, no, she wasn't found? Maybe there were no graves, supposedly,
Probably
where they
not.
were
Just
supposed to
somebody
be.
just running their mouth.
But, yeah.
Somebody had a dream.
But that is just, I so wish closure for her family.
Yeah.
And
to arrest whoever is responsible, because she didn't walk out on her own.
well, the neighborhood where Nancy Guthrie's house is at, in the beginning stages of this, up till about a month ago, there was media, there were YouTubers that do podcasts. They were up and down this street, camped out, and finally the sheriff's office said, no more. That we're done. You can't park on the street.
Yep.
So they were parking elsewhere. And some of these media people were given permission by neighbors that they could park in their yard. So they would get out, set up a chair or something, and videotape anyway. It just became a big fascination for the media.
And
now,
what is new? If you don't have anything new to report, do you just report you don't have anything new to report? What?
There are people that are just so fascinated with it. They'll go out there, sit for hours, and, if the mailman gets out of his mail truck and takes a package to the front door, they get all, breaking news, but it's just all sorts of stuff. But now
they are not news people.
The Pima County Sheriff's Office has put out that they can't stand out in the street. They can't loiter, can't do anything. Well, they have this one podcaster. And I have to say it, he looks like a thug. He's scary looking, who keeps going out there and pushing it, and got arrested the other night.
I'd be running him as
he was being
his DNA.
arrested. One of the deputies fell, and blah, blah, blah. So now you got a lot of people saying it's their right to go out there, to videotape, and it's a public street. No, it's not. And you know what? People in the neighborhood, I think enough is enough. Okay. I mean, it was cool to watch all the media out there for a while because it kept you watching and different things coming up. But now enough time has passed. Just leave the neighbors alone. Leave them alone. And I think the HOA out there even took down all the flowers and stuff, tributes to her in the front of her yard. So I'm sure the family had a lot to do with that too. But
their family's kind of tired of it too.
Yeah, and their family has been very quiet in all this because there's been a lot of accusations thrown at them, and whatever comes out of the investigations, we'll ever know the true story. I don't know, but eventually maybe somebody will talk because there is a huge tip, a huge payout.
Yeah.
If somebody calls in a tip and is proven to be true, and helps lead to her recovery of her body. So.
After Dr. Jill Biden's comments about her husband last month and about the DNC, and for some reason, the Biden family now thinks there is a reason to prop Joe up and try to revitalize his legacy.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's.
Really? Others are saying, what legacy? Other than spending a lot of years, too many years, as a senator from Delaware, taking the bait to help an almost black man with virtually no significant political experience to become president. What has Joe Biden done and accomplished?
I don't think he did much as a senator.
That's what I mean. Critics
No.
blame Joe for getting Donald Trump elected for a second time.
Whose fault is that?
It was Joe's fault. By hogging the landscape when it was apparent he was not a man who could beat Trump, they say that Biden's insistence that he could win the re-election was there. He said, "I will run. I'm going to run. I'm going to run.
Yeah,
I'm going to
ran.
run." And I ran, and he ran,
Mm-hmm.
and he got the nomination, much to the chagrin of the Democratic National Committee. But what else did they have? What choice did they have but to support him? He was the president. And then came that disastrous debate. Made it clear the Democrats had made a bad choice. No, they had no choice. They couldn't do anything else.
Wow.
They had to support the president. And it was too late for another Democratic primary. Duh. So what do? Kamala jumped at the chance and she said, "I'm going to be the nominee. I want to do it. Pick me, pick me, pick me." The DNC had no choice. It wasn't what they wanted. She did not fare as well in the polls in the likability department as Biden did, and he was in the dumps.
You want to talk about Biden?
At 83, he appeared at Best Western Hotel in Sioux Falls in front of 1,200 Democrats who were assembled for an event this weekend. He blasted Trump,
Of course.
then told the crowds he was going to have to rush off to attend his goddaughter's wedding. New York Magazine reported that Biden spoke quietly, occasionally yelled at times, lost his train of thought, but still received a warm response from the Democrat audience. The magazine wrote that the event was an effort by the Biden family to remind the public that his legacy should not be reflected by what they're calling was his 2024 loss to Trump, even though Biden was not running in that race. He was out of the race. He did not lose the race. He withdrew from the race.
Huh? Yeah, that's
He
right.
withdrew from the race, and Kamala Harris stepped in. She lost the race to Donald Trump. But they are blaming, many people have blamed Trump, and the Democrat side are blaming Biden for Trump's win.
That whole Democratic
It was
run
screwed up.
was just messed up from the beginning. First of
Democrats-
all,
They need to accept the responsibility that
Yes,
they
they
were
do.
stupid with their whole process, and it did not work.
well, normally the way it works is if you go in for the first term, is a said thing that they're going to put you in there for the second term. But knowing that Biden was facing so many obstacles,
Yep.
and he had age, he had
He had
memory issues.
yes, it's cognitive issues. big ones.
Yes, he had a lot of it. Everybody saw it, and to not go ahead and to say, look,
We're not going to support you. You need to stop.
we need to put a backup in there. We need to have somebody strong that we can start building on, that maybe can run against Biden. And if that person happens to win the primary, so be it. But they were just like, yo, Joe, go ahead. And it backfired. It backfired bad. And then Kamala up there,
What a disaster that was.
what? That was a disaster. And her campaigning had so many flaws. So many.
So I'm not sure why the Biden family is doing this. It's just dragging him down more.
Right.
It's just putting him out there for the public to see what he has become, and that's just not fair to him. He did serve a bunch of years as a state senator.
Right.
I mean, as a U.S.
Right.
senator from Delaware, and you got to give him credit for doing that.
Absolutely.
You got to give him his credit as the vice president. He was there. He was a placeholder, basically. He was there to
Right.
help Obama get elected and then to serve him. But don't let the man's legacy be what it is, and you just parade him in front of the group, like you say, Weekend at Bernie's.
Right.
That's
I mean,
just
when you
not
said
the-
prop him up, I could just see Jill propping him up in a chair
Yeah.
now after he's already passed to do an interview. Oh, Joe's just taking a nap.
Is it going? Do you think it's going to get any better with him?
No.
So why display him like this? This is not
You know,
fair.
if he wants to write a book, write his memoirs, take it, let it be published.
Yeah.
Joe needs to stay home. He needs to enjoy life.
Yeah, he's
What's
got-
left out there?
Yeah, and he may have plenty of years left, but
He may outlive us all.
yeah, but if you keep doing what you're doing, you're just going to send him to his grave, and it's going to be a harsh send off. So
Well,
quit it.
talking about the Bidens, Hunter Biden was
Oh my
on
God!
Newsom's podcast, Gavin Newsom's podcast recently. He has a podcast. This is Gavin
Bless his
Newsom.
heart.
Well, that's one way to get some promotional benefits out of your campaign. But Hunter jokingly said that he would run for vice president, but only as Gavin Newsom's vice president. And that
Good for
caused
him.
a big stir.
That would be
People
great.
saying, is he serious?
Yeah,
Is
he's
it
serious.
real? And he said it as a joke, and people were jumping on it. But could you see that ticket?
Can you
Gavin
see?
Newsom
Can
and
you see the publicity?
And Hunter
it will just
Biden.
open up everything that is there against him, even more than has been.
well,
Holy
nowadays. Nowadays, you can wear a Nazi tattoo and criticize the United States
Yeah.
and make communist remarks and win primaries for the U.S. Congress. So
Mhm.
people don't look at that as much anymore.
Oh, they would tear him apart because
Oh, sure they would.
I mean, from his, because you can rest assured that he's not straight. Okay,
Well,
he's not clean. He's not going to be clean.
Yeah, what are we in now? June.
Mhm.
We have the rest of June, July, August, September, October. We have 5 more months until the general election.
Yeah, the midterms, yes.
Right. And this is, I don't know I'm not sure where things are going to go because you have so many congressmen and senators like, no, I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm getting out. There's going to be a lot of changes. So
Mhm.
it's going to be interesting to see who holds the majority after all this.
Yeah, and I don't know that. It's going to be the Democrats. Why?
Holding the majority?
Yeah. Why?
Why you say that?
Because in midterms, that's generally what occurs because whoever's in the White House has ticked off enough people. Seriously.
That's
it doesn't
true.
really matter who it is.
That's
They've
very
ticked off
true.
enough people by either not doing what they said they were going to do or doing more than
Right.
they wanted they should be doing or doing the wrong things. That's going to tick people off. And then they vote for the other person.
We have
In the midterm.
that's Steve Collins. We have a commenter that said, I think Biden was being drugged while in office. He seems a lot better now. Yeah, a good point.
Maybe he's being drugged now and not while he was in office. Hello, Steve. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Hope
Good
y'all had a
morning.
good weekend.
Oh,
Great
yeah,
weekend.
a dangerous one for me.
Go Canes.
How was it dangerous?
Well, want to describe my left side?
He's all banged up, cut up, bruised up. He fell through his porch.
Well,
he's
it was the deck down on the ground. It was about a foot off the ground, and it was rotten. And we were taking up the boards, and I stepped on one of them that should have been taken up before I stepped on it. Crash,
I got you. My.
and down I went.
looks like he's been in a plane crash.
I hear you. Well, glad you weren't seriously hurt.
No, it wasn't.
I got you.
Dusted off, took a shower, and went to 60th high school class reunion.
I got you.
Long sleeves, long pants.
I didn't
Cover
wear
all
long
the
sleeves. It
injuries.
was too dang hot to wear long sleeves. I didn't even want to wear long pants. But, yeah, it would look bad if I'd gone like this.
Oh.
What's
I
up?
hear you. I heard you talking about something this morning that I agree with. I always like to stick a flag in that whenever it comes by.
Okay.
All right.
Which part?
It was the Democrats and they're, Joe Biden running for a second term. I agree that I think he failed the Democratic Party in America because he promised he was going to be a one-term president. And
he kept his promise.
He didn't fulfill that promise. He didn't fulfill that promise. He tried to go the extra mile, and that threw a monkey wrench in everything. And Donald Trump didn't get really no more votes in 2024 than he got in 2020, but the Democrats didn't show up for Kamala the way they did for Joe.
Absolutely not.
And so, I'd have to agree with you on that. And I also agree that he was, having some cognitive decline. He was really showing his age. And I disagree that everybody's seen it. I don't think the Democrats seen it. I think they were looking at it through rose-colored glasses.
Good God.
And I know that's a common human, characteristic, or sometimes even a flaw.
Yeah.
I think the same thing's happening right now. I think Donald Trump is also showing his age, and there's a lot of people who are refusing to see that support him.
I think Donald Trump's not being definitive like I think that he should have been in dealing with Iran, they ran, whatever. I really think that his actions there, wishy-washy, not being the president, as far as I'm concerned, is a bad sign.
What?
Yeah, I tell you, my take on it is he's being more of an administrator than a leader. He's kind of just letting, his subordinates kind of run the show. He's taking their advice and he's making the calls, I think. But I think it's solely based on the information that he's getting from them. I don't really think he actually has a plan.
Well, he must be getting some wishy-washy information because this keeps going back and forth and back and forth. It's worse than ping pong.
Well, that's where I think that's what makes me believe that is the wishy-washiness of it. The inconsistency is that he goes in one direction and it don't really work. He tries to go in the other direction, or he's trying to play both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
So that whatever comes out, he can be like, oh yeah, that was our plan all along. And
well,
that's always been the Achilles heel of our military. We have the greatest military in the world.
Until he gets interfered with. The interference, yeah.
Yeah, that's always been the downfall. Is our elected leaders, they have to follow what they say. And,
not that the military, I'm going to say something here that's always, to me, I liked it because it's kind of funny. The difference between, in this case, we'll use the military, and the Boy Scouts is what? The Boy Scouts have adult leaders. I'm afraid that
I've never heard that one.
You haven't. I think that not that the military itself are not adults, but there is a problem, as you say, because they've got Congress, they got the president, they got everybody, they got who was that little old nosy lady on Bewitched?
Mrs. Gladys.
We had Gladys. They got Gladys in charge. Everybody's in charge, but the people who should be.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to things like dealing with Iran and whatever, these guys know what's going on. They got the CIA that's dealing with them. They got the NSA. They got people who know that can talk to the military higher ups, and they can come to a conclusion about what needs to be done. Go in tomorrow, fix it, and move on.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, we do have the greatest military, and they will follow orders and do their job, even if it's a bad idea.
Yep.
That's kind of the
My computer's unplugged and it's about to go dead.
And I was thinking about this morning, guys. I don't know if you remember a few months back, but Tulsi Gabbard, the lady who was the National Security Director.
Yes.
She put out a video saying that these neocons were marching towards war with Iran.
Yep.
And, there was a big fuss about that, about 6-7 months ago? And then they did, and now she's not the director anymore.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really followed that
train of thought till this morning for some odd reason. But and she was the one that said there was no evidence supporting what they claimed about the how soon they were going to have a nuclear weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody would agree. Nobody in the world probably except Iran wants to see Iran have a nuclear weapon. But that's almost inevitable, because you cannot keep a country that large with that many people in the dark, literally, by not letting them have nuclear energy. And nuclear weapons are the same. Once a government owns it, it's just a small difference between nuclear power and nuclear weapons. And there's also the issue that they signed contracts with Russia. Russia has contracts to build 4 nuclear reactors in Iran for power plants. Nobody said anything, mentioned that, and they just signed a new deal just a couple of weeks ago. And so if we've got Russia giving them nuclear power, I mean, I don't know. It's a very complicated situation, and they forgive me if I feel a little unsure of the current administration's ability to handle this situation.
Well, I'm not sure any administration has the ability.
I agree.
So far, I mean, the previous administrations did not do anything. The Biden years were useless, and the 8 years prior to that, it was not. It was not. We should have been able to get involved at that time, but we said, when they said no, you're not going to go in and inspect anything, we said okay. No. We're going to go in because this was this was multinational people
Right.
said, let's do this. We need to be able to inspect them to make sure they're not, that they're using this nuclear stuff they've got for peaceful purposes only. And Iran put up, I said, nope. And we said, okay, no. That's not the way you do it.
But I also feel that it was short-sighted, maybe even foolish, to just tear the deal up, walk away, and leave them to do whatever they want.
Yeah, it was very short-sighted. I mean, we should have just, no, we're going in there. Now, if you get in the way, it's going to be on you.
Right. Like I say, to walk away and leave them to their own resources for, 4 to 6 years to do whatever they wanted to, and then come back and say, hey, they're doing this.
Yeah.
That's not very smart.
Yeah.
And I don't think if Kamala Harris was president, I don't think she could have handled this situation.
Oh, good God, no.
Very well, but I don't think she would have put us in this situation. Democrats would be much more reluctant to do things like this. They try to err way more on the diplomatic side. So I don't think we would be in the same position if she was president. But if we were forced in this position, I don't know that she would handle it.
I think every country with rational thinking people are fearful of Iran having a nuclear power because they've already demonstrated for how many decades in our lifetime how irrational that they are. That is not a rational country.
I would say because of their ideology, it makes it problematic.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out that they were in the middle of a civil uprising where the people were turning against their regime.
Yep.
To the point that they had to execute like 40,000 people.
Yep.
What we did solidified and unified the Iranian people. They no longer had that uprising. We squashed it. We gave them something to all rally around. That also, I believe, was a mistake. It might have been if we could have just waited a little bit, if they may have been a internal regime change.
I don't know. No.
We will never know, but it was actually happening.
Yeah.
The fact that they reportedly executed 40,000 people, man, that's a big crowd and of protesters in Iran.
Yep.
Around braver, I think, than people who protest in America. You know,
Well, yeah. I mean, those who protest in America are not likely to be slaughtered.
right? It's possible, but not likely.
Not
It's
likely.
likely
No.
in Iran.
No.
Yeah.
But in Iran, that's pretty much a guarantee, as they have demonstrated. Go ahead and do it again, people. Let's see where you get 40,000, 80,000. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So,
But anyway, I wanted to put a pin in that one that we agreed on the Democrats, folly that they failed in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get somebody, Kamala Harris enough people weren't going to rally around her, and they knew that.
what she was incompetent.
In the 2020 election, she didn't win the primary.
Yeah, she's totally incompetent. The Democrats thought in their first race when they brought Biden in, because they didn't think that she had enough get up and go, so she pulled out. They pulled her out of the Democrat primary in the first go round. And they promised her, say, okay, well, if Biden goes in, he will be the one, and you can go in, you can be the vice president. And then in 4 years, as it should have been, according to the Democrat plan, Biden would have been gone, one term in and out, and Kamala Harris would have been the Democrat choice. The problem is, she demonstrated as a VP that she wasn't worth anything. She was useless.
Honestly, I think the Democratic Party kind of failed her because they didn't try and put her in the spotlight to be that person.
Nope, they did
and
not.
I don't want to say she's incompetent. She's a very accomplished woman. Don't mean I agree with her, policies or what, necessarily the same thing that she believes.
She was not much of a prosecutor. She was not much of a prosecuting attorney.
Yeah, but the fact she made it to that level is an accomplishment.
Newsom made it to a high level too, but look at him.
Yeah, like know thy enemy.
Yeah,
don't underestimate her her abilities. But as a candidate, she won't viable. I don't think that she was viable. So I think that made a mistake there. I think they should have stuck to his promise. They should have had a primary and let Kamala win the primary.
So who can the Democrats pick? I'm pretty well sure that the Republicans are going to likely go with Vance. But who can the Democrats pick in 2028? Who would be your choice of slate? Maybe 3 different people. Do you got 3 right now? I don't know them.
I don't know who I would pick.
Newsom, right?
Well, there's a little bit of me that don't want to pick none of them. So there's a little part of me don't want to pick none of them. Don't want to pick none of the Republicans.
Oh, my Lord of mercy!
They all kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth, no matter what you're talking about. But who I think they're likely to be in the lead, Gavin Newsom is really out front.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's going to be the Democratic pick, but he has a lot of charisma. He's more of a middle, right-leaning Democrat than most people think. If you listen to him, he's not a far left liberal as most people think he is. On some issues he is, some he is.
Do you think that anybody outside California likes his charisma or anything else that he does?
Honestly, I think more people outside California like him than necessarily people inside California.
Really?
Because of his slightly right-leaning beliefs, he's rubbed some feathers in California over that.
I think Spencer Pratt needs to run for
But now there's also what is Scott Shapiro.
Yeah.
His name keeps popping up year after year after year.
I think he would be stronger than Gavin Newsom.
Right. Oddly enough, I don't know that Pete Buttigieg might not come, somewhere out the,
Who's
back road towards the front. He's doing a lot of speaking, a lot of traveling around. Once again, don't necessarily agree with everything he believes, but he has a charisma that seems to be able to, I talk to people, and he thinks fast on his feet. So, he's a good debater. So we'll see.
Yep.
Amongst the Democrats, of course. On the Republican side, J.D. Vance is already kind of the scuttlebutt around the water cooler. Is he don't want to be president in 20 years.
Yeah, I know it, but I think that might be just some chatter to generate some interest to see what he's. If he gets the offer and he gets the opportunity, I think he'll jump at it.
Honestly, and this is just a wild prediction, but I think maybe he's saying he don't want to be president. So next year, when they invoke the 25th Amendment, he can be like, "Well, I didn't want to be president to start with, but somebody's got to step in."
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that one plays out. I think it's going to be the same thing y'all predicted about Joe and Kamala switching out.
Yeah,
but it's going to be the shoe's going to be on the other foot. We'll see how that happens.
We'll see.
We'll see.
How's your garden doing?
Doing fine. Just looking a little bit better. I ate some zucchini and some cucumbers last night, and so there at least I'm trying to gain control over the little critters that tried to zip through there. But I finally had the result of some actual dust.
I got you. I got something that's eating cucumber leaves, and when taking looks like a human bit it out. It's it plays down so big in the leaf.
Yeah.
Is it
I
a
cannot
deer?
find what is happening to it. What's doing it? I don't know.
I don't know. I had that when I had the cucumbers in a different bed a couple of years ago. That was happening. I got some stuff that popped up in one of the beds that I did not plant this year. I was saving it for a fall planting, but it's got some stuff in there. It looks, I don't know whether it's cantaloupe because I had cantaloupe in the bed next door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it's cantaloupe, but they started growing. So I let them grow, and they're getting bigger, and they're looking good as plants. I just don't know what they are.
I want you to
I like
know.
volunteer plants too because it's almost like a mystery box.
Yes, it is.
Like you say,
I'm gonna wait and see
some
what.
stuff you can identify pretty quick. But
I will see what it grows looks like. Then I'll eat it.
Yeah, let's talk mystery box. I bought some bell pepper plants
Yeah.
at the plant sale
Yeah.
that the county, the agricultural, whoever had it, got home. And I'm like, I've been waiting for them. And they aren't bell peppers.
What are they?
They're the sweet hot peppers.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? And that's not what they were tagged. And I'm like, surprise!
Gotcha.
Which I can't eat those.
Yeah.
I mean, I love them, but I
I've
can't
had
eat
that
them.
happen a bunch.
If I get any bunch of bell peppers, we'll trade.
We'll swap.
Yeah,
Well, I'll pick those others and just bring them to you, and y'all can do what you want with. I like them, but I can't eat them.
Mm-hmm. I got some sweet banana peppers that are sweet. They're not hot. They're good.
These might be. I don't know what they are, but they're not
Are
bell
they yellow?
peppers. No, they're light green.
Oh, they're big or
They look. They're.
bring me one. Let's talk about them.
Will do.
I was going to say, they've gotten me a few times on the sweet banana peppers. And then the first one I bite is hot as fire.
I buy the seeds for those. I want the seeds. I want to know what's coming out. I don't trust the plants.
I did get my first zucchini yesterday, and that plant I put it in the ground 3 weeks ago.
Really?
I got my first zucchini out of it. Yeah.
Good God.
Now it had a bloom on it already when I planted it, but they have exploded with growth. They've more than tripled or quadrupled their size.
I planted about 6 or 7, and I've got 2 that made it. They're starting to grow now.
Well, Lee brought me 5 of them. 4 of them are alive. One just keeled over day one, but I've got 4 new ones coming on. So I'm hoping I'll have my second crop. So by the time the others wear out.
I'm waiting for the first crop.
Well, I got some out there.
I've got plenty of cucumbers. And look, I'm almost finished putting the fence around the garden. I ran out of fencing. It was more than I thought I would need. And
keep your dogs out.
They just know. They go in through the open area. They're like looking for those cucumbers and squash. I'm like, get over. They love them.
A hot wire will just teach
I'm
them a
not
lesson.
doing that to my dogs.
Well, they'll learn after one time. Maybe 2. If they're stubborn, maybe it takes twice. But Once they do that,
Well, I put down some seven dust,
Yeah.
around the squash plants because already something's eating it. And my little dog, before I could do anything, go over and starts licking it. And I'm like,
that'll be a cure for him.
well, hopefully, I watched him all day yesterday. He was fine, but I think I got him in time. But he's he's crazy.
All right, Steve, thank you, sir.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Steve.
I appreciate the time. Y'all have a blessed
All
day.
right, you too.
Bye.
Wow.
Look at a little bit of weather here. What
Still looking for the sun.
The rain forecast is, I can't see the ocean from here, but I'm
this
sure
up
it's
again.
kicking up a little bit. We don't know. It's cloudy outside. Shower and thunderstorms still a possibility here for the next few days. A cold front's going to come our way as we get closer to the end of the week. Today, out to 60 nautical miles offshore. Folks, the first 3 days this week are not really conducive to take your boat offshore. So, give some second thoughts to it. Southwesterly winds today, 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, gusts up to 30 knots. Seas big, 4 to 6 footers. There's a slight chance of showers and thunder boomers. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 4 to 5 feet. Showers likely, a chance of thunderstorms mainly in the morning. Wednesday, southwesterly winds 15 to 20 with gusts to 25, seas 4 to 5 feet. Showers likely in the morning, chance of showers, thunderstorms in the afternoon. Did you see a theme here? Showers and thunderstorms and big waves.
Yes. Well, I tell you what,
You're looking at that radar now.
It's a mess out there, all the way down to Florida, all the way up.
Offshore is sloppy.
Very bad. A lot of thunderstorms. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 92. I keep looking out for the sun every time I do this. Okay. Southwest wind around 7 miles per hour, becoming northwest in the afternoon. It'll bring the sun in then maybe. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 68. Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a high near 87. And Wednesday, chance of showers in the morning, partly sunny with a high near 89. So be it. Still looking for that sun.
Yeah. Just
right.
checking here. We got 77 degrees right now here at the studio, and it's not raining, and it's not really any major predictions here for rain. 29.69 inches of mercury, but we did have 0.74 inches of rain yesterday and overnight combined, and 93% humidity makes it feel like it's 87. It's actually 77, but it is muggy.
It felt like 130 over the weekend out there.
No, it did. Well, the oil is again flowing through the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's what President Trump said yesterday when he announced that a deal had been signed with Iran to end hostilities and get back to business as usual. Pakistan's prime minister says a formal signing of the agreement will be held in Switzerland on Friday. Question: does that mean Iran has until Friday before it has to stop shooting missiles at bases with U.S. troops, at helicopters over the Strait of Hormuz, or firing missiles into Israel? I'd like some specific details about this whole deal and some idea of when I can see a significant reduction in gas prices, when I can afford a good steak that doesn't taste like leather. Iran's deputy foreign minister said broader talks with the U.S. will take place during a 60-day ceasefire period. So this deal is happening during a ceasefire period of which nobody has abided by, has agreed, has obeyed the rules of a ceasefire. Do they not know what the word cease means? It means stop.
It's never happened.
Stop firing. Don't shoot. Put your guns in your holsters and leave them there. That's what a ceasefire means. But maybe during this 60-day alleged, and I don't like that word, ceasefire period, maybe we will hear about the fine print. There's got to be some fine print in this deal, whatever deal it is that we and other people are going to be signing. I haven't heard anything with this agreement that deals with a nuclear thingy. that we are going to make sure that they don't have nuclear weapons capabilities. Nobody, nobody, Steve understands, nobody wants Iran. That is a crazy group of people there, and they don't care about dying. I mean, look, we took out the daddy, then we took out the son who stepped up in daddy's place. How many times do we have to do that?
I am not believing anything until it happens.
I don't even believe it's going. When it happens, it's going to be solid.
I'm done with it.
Vice President J.D. Vance said that peace in the Middle East will take some time. No kidding, despite a new deal. But he hails this as a major step forward. He's probably the only one with the.
We've heard this
with common sense that this is going to take time.
We've heard this for months and months and months and months and months. I'm telling you, I just every time they come on with news, I just turn to channel.
It's coming on. We've got this deal going. Boom, boom.
Yeah, okay.
Incoming.
Every time it comes on, I just turn to channel. I'm so done with it. I'm so tired of it.
Believe anything that anyone tells me, I know, hate that.
And it's the wrong attitude for me to take, but I'm just tired of it. You know, we have a ceasefire, we've signed it, and then later that night, here, boom, boom, boom. I'm like,
And then once they go boom, 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 then we go in and destroy some more of their radar. How many radar sites do they have? We've destroyed 1 million.
Look, we have intelligence on the ground.
Yes,
we have all the spies. We have everything. We know what's there. We know what's there.
We go up and shoot it down, just blow it up so we say we can.
I just get so frustrated with the whole thing. I'm so tired of it being an excuse for everything in the world, everything in the United States to increase in value.
We destroyed
price,
the Navy, I understand. We heard that. We left them with 2 rowboats and a dinghy.
2 rowboats and a dinghy.
That's what Trump said.
I'm sure it's not Brian Hooker's dinghy.
Words to that effect. We destroyed their Air Force. We left them with a few airplanes so they can, fly around.
Right.
But their army is still in place, of course. They got that. But they have no Navy, or they got got a Navy without a boat. It's not a Navy, right?
Right. Wow, yeah.
Hey, that's kind of like the Air Force without an airplane. They're not, and we've destroyed much of the Air Force operations. That's what we're told. But they do have missiles and they do have drones. We have not destroyed that. We've destroyed a lot of their launch sites. When we find a launch site, we destroy it.
Right.
We've done that. Every time they violate a ceasefire, then they shoot something, then we go up and we use that as an excuse to blow up some stuff.
Right.
Which is a way to play, I guess, but whatever. Y'all, somebody with some brains needs to explain this to me, because I'll be stupid and I just do not quite understand it all. It's not.
Oh, it's all going to be over with, and gas prices are going to be less than $2. That's right before November.
Yes, I know. We know that scam.
I like it when you said it. Yeah, we know this scam.
We've all seen it before, and we'll see it again. There's no doubt about it.
Well, Rayford.
What?
Let's changing this topic. Last week we talked about skydiving. Would you ever bungee jump?
No.
Well, did you hear what happened to this model in Brazil?
Model?
Yes, she was a model in Brazil. This just happened over the weekend.
Did she have now longer legs?
Well, the problem is they picked her up in a Superman pose, like to throw her over the bridge, but they forgot to add the rope. They forgot to tie the rope on. She was bungee jumping. They forgot to tie the rope on. So she was hurled down a 130-foot drop at a popular bungee jumping spot.
I'm assuming she's
in
dead.
Brazil. Yes, she fell to her death in front of horrified witnesses who could be heard shouting, "Rope, rope, people, the rope, the rope." They didn't attach the rope. Nobody attached it. Picked her up and threw her over.
How much alcohol is involved in that party?
It's not saying right now, but let me tell you what. Wouldn't you know
You won't be doing it to me, even if I had agreed to do it without me having the last say. Let me check your knot. Number one, I was
That's
just
right.
checking the knot.
Checking the knot.
And I make sure, and I wouldn't check both ends of it because there've been a lot of people, and not saying anything special, but there've been a lot of people to throw an anchor overboard and didn't have it tied off on the boat. One guy bought 3 anchors in the same week down at Sideline Marine.
Oh my gosh.
Because he threw it over the first time and it didn't, and it wasn't tied off. He bought a new one and a new rope.
I just
He told his
can't.
wife to throw the anchor off, but he forgot to tie the anchor to the line, the second one, and he had to come by and buy a third one. The same in 1 week. In 1 week.
I just can't believe that no one, even the person themselves that was bungee jumping, had a thought about, we better double check the rope.
Oh my Lord of mercy!
I saw the video where they threw her, but it doesn't show her falling to her death. And I'm like, and there's no rope attached. There's nothing attached. And the rope is down on the ground all around the people's feet. How would... Stupid. Good Lord, have mercy. And let's talk about the New York Knicks winning this weekend. It was historic. I didn't follow them. I don't follow them. It was a dramatic Game 4 comeback and later a championship win. And there was a lot of celebration in the city of New York. New York City.
Popped up again.
There was a whole bunch of celebration, but
Celebration too.
acceleration into the celebration.
Acceleration.
It got rowdy. It got wild. The fans, a lot of them engaging in reckless behavior, smashing a yellow taxi cab, vandalizing a Five Guys restaurant, climbing onto and smashing a parked school bus, and then they set it on fire.
What is the purpose in this?
They set it on fire.
Taxpayers got to buy it and pay for it.
Well, the NYPD reported that 10 of their officers were injured, including one struck in the head by a glass bottle.
Mm-hmm.
A 17-year-old boy was shot in the left foot near 42nd Street and Broadway. Emergency crews could not reach him due to the overcrowded streets, and he was later transferred to a hospital in stable condition. Authorities made 63 arrests during the overnight celebration, citing disorderly conduct, assaults, and vandalism. And the NYPD deployed riot gear. The NYPD deployed riot police in protective gear, including officers on horseback. I watched that for a while. That was the craziest mess ever. Celebrating a win. That's not how you celebrate a win.
No.
The Carolina Hurricanes are going to set the example when they get back on how you celebrate a win. And the people of Raleigh. But that was crazy. They were setting things on fire.
Don't do that. That's just being stupid. You're an idiot. And you should be locked up after you're caned. This is something I agree with China on. They use a bamboo cane pole, and they beat you when you do stupid stuff.
Well,
They beat you.
This whole win triggered one of the most destructive and dangerous post-game celebrations ever in recent New York sports history.
Yeah.
Tore the town up. Can you imagine the cleanup?
Yeah. All of those people that got arrested should have to clean it up.
The cleanup alone is going to be crazy.
Let them pay for it and let them clean it up. What now?
Oh, okay. Whew. I just saw a news break come out about former Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell hospitalized. Yeah, he was hospitalized over the weekend and said doing fine. They're taking good care of him. But when I saw this break, I thought, oh no, what's happened? It's an old break in there. I'll stop.
Back on this date, the year was 1943.
1943. Okay. 19. Oh,
Paul Blobel or Blobel, he was an SS colonel, the Nazi SS colonel. He was given the assignment. Now, this is 1943. The war's right in the middle of the war. He was told to coordinate the destruction of all evidence of the grossest of the Nazi atrocities, which was the systematic extermination of European Jews. He was told, you are to clean all of that up. You are to get rid of all of the evidence that there is. In 1943, mid-June, mid-year that year, they decided that they were going to lose that war. They knew it was coming. Things were not going their way. The U.S. had mounted, England, countries all over the world were going after them. And they knew that they were going to be guilty of war crimes.
right.
That was as early as 1943. So they devised a plan to try to get rid of all of the evidence. As the summer of 43 approached, Allied forces had begun making cracks in Axis strongholds in the Pacific and in the Mediterranean specifically. Himmler, leader of the SS, the elite, they call them elite, corps of Nazi bodyguards that grew into a paramilitary terror force, began to consider the possibility of German defeat, and worried that the mass murder of Jews and Soviet prisoners of war would be found out. A plan was devised to dig up the buried dead and burn the corpses at each camp and extermination site. The man chosen to oversee this year-long project was Paul Blobel. Blobel certainly had some of the same blood on his hands himself, as he was in charge of SS killing squads in German-occupied areas of Russia.
Look, while you continue that story, I've got to go around front and go under the table. Don't everybody get hysterical. Evidently, when we had guests Friday, kicked out the cord to my computer, and it's about to go dead. So I'm going to go plug
Don't
it in.
kill your computer.
So everyone just chill out. Yeah,
She'll be okay. She'll
I'm
be
just
fine.
going to go plug the computer in. Don't be saying bad things.
That was, they killed these people. They buried them, the Jews. They exterminated them, trying to. And they buried the bodies. And then this guy, a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, because they've been doing this for a long time, they then dug them up to start burying them at each of the camps where they were murdered, slaughtered. I cannot imagine it's anybody that inhumane. That one blows my mind. That is just odd.
All right. I'm back.
Are
I'm
you
plugged
feeling,
in now.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, because I kept watching. I was like, why is it not charging? When I looked under, it had been kicked out. So it's all plugged in now.
Something that a little closer to home for me, because I went
Yes.
down there
Oh, I've got
bunch
a
of
good
times
story for you.
down
Go ahead.
in Aruba.
Aruba.
Yeah, police
Aruba.
were searching Vandersloot's home
Oh man,
in connection with
so
a Holloway disappearance. They
guilty.
never found her body. Yes, he's guilty.
Yeah.
They got witnesses to it, though.
Yes.
And people have said, but where's the body? That's the problem.
Long gone.
It's on Aruba. And
That's a horrible story. Horrible.
two weeks after this teenager, Natalie Holloway, she's a teenager, high school, on a vacation, on a high school graduation trip on Aruba. I cannot imagine. And as a high school senior for graduation, going to Aruba, she was 15 or 16, something like. No, she was 18, I guess, 17 or 18. And this dude, 17 years old, Horan Vandersloot, one of the last known
So-
people to see the young American alive. They searched his house. Although Vandersloot would emerge as a prime suspect in the case, he was never charged. Holloway's disappearance generated massive media attention to the United States. Her body has never been found. In 2012, she was declared legally dead. She was 18 years old, from Alabama, last seen leaving an Aruban bar and restaurant with Vandersloot and two of his friends. Her other friends that she had left with, they split up.
Right.
You're not supposed to split up. When you go there together, you leave from there together. Do not go out on your own. Do not leave. As 18 years old, you leave with two men, two boys,
Right.
young
Right.
men. They're the same age. You don't do that.
But could you
She's never been
imagine
seen.
being the group of friends that
Who dumped
went?
her? Or
And,
she dumped them likely.
well, can you imagine the feelings that they had to encounter after she was reported missing?
Yeah.
Do you think that, I'm sure that weighed on them? Like, why did we leave, or why did we let her?
Robbie and
Yeah.
I went to Bonaire that year in
Right.
October.
Right.
And of course, there was so much media attention on Aruba. You can't imagine
Mhm.
the attention that was
Well, I
there.
can imagine.
U.S., it drew so much attention. Everybody knew about it. And, but our flight took us to a stop in Aruba first, and we had a layover in Aruba for hours. And they screwed up when they booked me. And I had like a 7 or 8 hour layover in Aruba, waiting for a little puddle jumper to take us to Bonaire. Well, they ran puddle jumpers every hour on the hour, but they had us booked on one like 6 or 7 hours later. And I went up to the ticket clerk and I said, "Hey, can't we get on an earlier flight? Can't you just put us on the next flight over that's going over
Right.
there?" "No, you've got tickets on the other one. It's already scheduled for the other flight." "Well, do you have
Blah.
seats available on the next one going over?"
Right.
Yeah, we do. But you have to fly on the next one. I played my card. I took my
And?
business card out, which says news director at WECT, and I said, "Listen, I handed it to her. I said, is there anybody in here that can talk to me about?"
That's just wrong.
Yes, it is.
I would have done it.
Is there anybody in here that can talk to me about this missing lady, Natalie Holloway? I'd like to go ahead and do a story while I'm here. I was on the next flight. Get me off of that island. I was getting ready to create a nuisance right there in the airport.
Well, Raver, I've got a story right up your alley
That
here.
was mean, but
And-
I liked it.
A North Carolina story happened over the weekend.
What's that?
A body was
Oh,
discovered
great.
when officers responded to reports of a breaking and entering in East Charlotte. The male who died is suspected of being an intruder who made entrance into a residence. The suspect's identity has not yet been released. It happened Sunday in the 5800 block of Hickory Grove Road, which is a residential area.
So in the middle of the night,
No, this was during the daytime,
during
shortly.
the daytime,
Shortly after 10:30 a.m., officers responded to a break-in and entering call for service. Upon arrival, officers discovered a victim with a gunshot wound.
oh, he shot
Medic-
himself?
Medic pronounced the victim deceased on the scene. The body was found outside the residence,
Yes.
but Charlotte Metro Police Department says it is investigating whether the shooting occurred inside or outside the home.
The DA needs to go ahead and declare that a
Crime scene.
no. The DA needs to go ahead and declare it. Castle Doctrine applies. Once he does, that
Well-
case is over.
From what I read with the story, they're not sure right now whether the intruder was actually shot inside the house.
Did he break into the house?
See, they've not released those details. And
Well, how
the-
did they
the 911
responded? They responded to a break-in and entering, right?
that's what the 911 caller said.
So he broke in.
That's what the 911 caller said. It was an intruder.
Well, what did the other guy say?
He was dead.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
If you break into an occupied house,
I'm
that
telling you.
personally, to me, is a death penalty.
You break into my house and you have a right to protect your home.
Yep.
And protect those that you love inside your home
Mm-hmm.
too. So I don't think shooting someone through a door applies, but we'll see how this one turns out.
If he's breaking in the process of breaking in, you.
I'm going to wait till he opens the door.
Here's the thing.
So when I shoot him, he falls in.
Let me ask you this. He's in the process of breaking into your house. He's kicking at the door, trying to break in, right? You know he's going to break in.
Right.
If you take preventative action, shooting through the door, that stops him.
Right.
Do you have to wait for a guy? Let's just do another thing here. You got a guy standing there. He's got a gun. He pulls a gun and he pulls his gun and aims it in your direction. Do you have to wait for him to shoot
No,
at you
of
first?
course not.
Tell me what the difference is.
Well, I'm not saying there is a difference. I'm just saying that if you want to bust into my house, I want to make sure when I put that round between your eyes that you fall inside. No questions asked. Slam dunk. Done. Yeah, I shot him trying to break in, and the blood's on my floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. Of course, if I had time to react that way and think about it at the time it was happening.
There you go.
If they were trying to break into my house, first thing I would do is call 911 and have 911 on the phone and stay with them on the phone while I get my pew and go to protect myself.
Get your pew.
I can't say a word.
What
We
word?
can't say it. We can't say it on YouTube.
Why?
YouTube has a restriction on that word. The GUN word. You can't say it on
But
YouTube.
that's got to be a.
No, I'm telling you. Anyway, Jacksonville man is facing several charges after authorities say he drove impaired and crashed into a tree on Sunday. There's got to be more to this.
Early Sunday?
Early Sunday.
Okay, early Sunday.
On Saturday. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Saturday.
Was it early Saturday in the early morning?
It says, it does not specify. It says, according to charging documents, Christopher Alphen, 48 of Jacksonville, was arrested by the NC Highway Patrol and charged with driving while impaired, reckless driving to endanger, and failure to maintain lane control. And these charges occurred on Saturday, June 13th, along State Road 1203. If anybody knows what 1203
No
is.
idea where that is.
According to
What's
court
his last
records,
name? How does it spell his last name?
Alphin, Alphin.
First name?
Maybe let me get back. Christopher. According to court records, Alphin was operating a vehicle while subject to an impairing substance. He also drove without due caution in a manner that endangered people or property. He ran off the roadway and struck a tree. He was arrested and remains in Onslow County Detention Center without bond. So there's got to be more to this, Rayford. Then
He's 48 years old. Driver's license revoked.
Yep.
Driver's license revoked. Fraud. This is his history, dating back to 2015. Failing to obtain title registration from a vehicle. Failing to obtain permit from an insurance company. Larceny after breaking and entering. Larceny over $1,000. Felony breaking and entering, possessing stolen goods, 2 different times during the same year, 9 months apart. Felony breaking and entering, larceny over $1,000, felony breaking and entering 2 times in 2016.
knew it had to be
Possessing stolen goods on a couple of occasions in 16. That's the history.
And that's why he's in there without bond, I'm sure. Because I knew it had to be something behind it, just for, the sun came out.
Oh, wow.
Well, here's another one I've got for you on Saturday in Jacksonville. A Jacksonville man is facing multiple charges after police said he led police officers on a pursuit
Oh, that's dumb.
that reached over 100 miles per hour
You're just dumb. to do
before
that.
running into a home and attempting to avoid arrest. Okay,
ran into
here's
the home, like crashed into the home.
ran into it. Okay, Johnson is his first name, and his last name is L.Y. Lee. I'm sure it's probably Lee. L.Y. Just L.Y. He's 20 years of age. He was arrested by JPD and charged with felony flee to elude arrest with a motor vehicle, failure to heed a light or siren, reckless driving to endanger, resisting a public officer, speeding, expired registration, and expired or no vehicle registration.
Okay, he's
Inspection.
His first name is the name.
Johnson.
No, that's his last name.
No, it says Johnson is his first name in this story.
Okay, I got it backwards then.
Yes, and L.Y. is his last name,
Okay.
which I thought was kind of strange too, but they're showing his last name is L.Y.
That's
All right, listen to this. Charging documents state that the incident
no
began on
history.
Golden Branch Road and Onsville Drive when Lee allegedly failed to stop for an officer who was attempting to conduct a traffic stop. Investigators allege Lee sped away from officers, reaching speeds of 70 to 100 miles per hour. Excuse me, in a 35 and 45 mile an hour speed zone. Court records state Lee failed to stop despite emergency lights and sirens and drove recklessly in a manner that endangered people and property. After the pursuit ended, authorities allege Lee ran into a house, opened the door, and then attempted to lie about driving the vehicle before taken into custody. Not my car. Lee was transported to Onslow County Detention Center where he was giving no bond. No bond. Now, this was all Saturday happening in Onslow County. That's why I stayed home. You didn't see me on the roads. People are crazy. 20 years of age, all that.
not a good way to start your life, folks.
No, it is definitely not.
All right, we got coming up later in the week, tomorrow.
Yes.
What do we have?
Tomorrow, I should be having our North Carolina State Auditor calling in, Dave Bulliak.
Okay. So that'll be good to have chat
That
with him.
man's
On
fierce.
Wednesday, we got Dr. Rosemary Stein.
Mm-hmm.
She's a pediatrician for you guys who do not know, do not follow the show. And she calls in each week and we chat with her. We have a chat about medical issues involving children, things that children can do, parents need to be aware of, and stuff that's very concerning about the seasons or whatever kids are doing, and even when they're not in school. Some suggestions for you. We always talk about also things and alternatives for them.
Yeah.
And if you guys you want to talk about it, we'd love to hear from you. Just give us a call and
Absolutely.
and we'll chat with you as well about what do you do with your kids during the summer. You got a whole summer.
My
here
brother
to
and
do
I
that.
grew up as latchkey kids. Mama worked and
Yeah.
we took care of ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you do with your kids, or to teach your kids, to help your kids, or take them on vacations? Do you plan on trips? Do you have things at home for them to do to keep them off the computer? Everybody with any knowledge about anything wants you to restrict the amount of time that your kids have in front. They used to be in front of a TV.
Mm-hmm.
Restrict the amount of time they have in front of a TV, in front of a computer, or their telephone. Give them some time to do it, obviously, but restrict that time. Keep it down to a minimum. Just don't let them just stay on there all day and all night, eating potato chips or whatever. That's just not the right way to do it. That's one thing. So what do y'all do? Tomorrow we'll talk about that too, so you can give us a call. Think about it and ring us up tomorrow. Coming up later in the week on Thursday, was it that I tell you? We got
Thursday.
the most recently
Newly
retired He's just retired sheriff of Carteret County, who had retired so he could run for a political office, another one,
Yes.
which it wasn't a successful one, but he came close in the primary, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And
So-
it was his first time out. And
First time out of
so
the
I
gate,
give him kudos for what he
and I
did.
think you can look for him in the future. But we're going to have
Oh,
him in
you'll
the
see him.
studio on Thursday. He's driving in from Beaufort, Moorhead area,
Yes.
and we're going to sit down and have a chat. I've known him for a number of years since I've been back in Oslo County, and I respected him, still respect him, but respected the work he did, particularly in the arena of drugs. He was a sheriff that wanted as much activity in drugs as he could get. I asked him a question when I talked with him on the phone, not how many people that went to jail under him during his watch, because I doubt if he knows.
Right.
But I asked him another question that I'll save and we'll ask it on the air on Thursday.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I
an
always-
interesting question.
I always thought he did a great job as sheriff. And,
Yeah, he did.
I met him back. What year was it that McCoy was running for governor the second time? That was way back.
Well,
But anyway, that's when I
About
met him.
14 or something
Personally,
like that. Yeah.
personally met him then at a fundraiser on the beach in
Yeah.
Carteret County.
I met him. I think McCoy was there then. I met him up there. I had another event in Carteret County, so
Right.
I met him at a house there. In Beaufort, I think it was.
Really
if I
nice man,
recall.
really nice man.
He was there, and McCoy was there.
Right.
So
Right.
okay.
Yep.
All right, we've had enough time here today and enough
Yeah.
fun, so we're going to leave y'all to have at
Sun's
it.
out.
And the sun's out for a little bit. The
Yay.
wind's picked up a little bit now.
Little bit.
Just blowing just a slight breeze. 3 to 7 right now.
Mm.
Temperature's up to 78 degrees. Humidity still climbing, 91%. We'll see how much rain we get today, if any. But there's some stuff out there offshore right now.
Yeah. Don't
Just-
don't go out way out. Mm.
No. State. I wouldn't go beyond the inlet. I wouldn't go to the inlet and go out. Hang around the inlet if you want to on the inside and play, and pick up some Spanish if you want to. And if you get too many, call me.
Oh wait a minute! I just thought of
What?
something. This is the 15th of the month.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going home. I'm not coming out till tomorrow. It's military payday. You know what happens.
Oh. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow
In the
morning.
morning.
Thanks for tuning in. And, let us know if there's something you want to talk about. Or if there are any issues you would like us to explore. Lee and I both like to spend some time looking online for
Yeah.
historical facts, or to look for things that dispute what's being put out there on Facebook. We like that. Now, we are looking into a story that is circulating that the site was closed down that our friend Carol gave me this morning. It had
Oh, pictures of the. It might. Do you have Facebook downloaded on your phone?
no.
I mean, no. Do you have it downloaded on this desktop?
Yes.
Well, it should have come up then, unless the picture was removed. There are a lot of fake stuff.
The whole thing was gone. It disappeared.
Yeah, well.
So I don't know what that whole site was. So anyway,
That was over the pictures of the
content
Spanish
is-
aircraft.
no. This
Not that one?
content is not available right now.
Oh, that's okay. I know what you're talking
There's
about.
supposed to be something that was maybe
Yeah, let me go to.
some stuff that was seized. We're looking for it, and involved a U-Haul site. So we'll find out more about it. If there's some legal action involved, we will find out. We'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll find out what's going
Have
on.
a great rest of your day.
All
Join
right.
us in the morning at 7:00, where we're going to be live and local, and we'll be awake
Right.
and not woke. See ya. Have a
Right.
great day, and please be safe.
Be safe.